now. Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Competitive Speed Series. We're here for Season 3, and tonight we're heading to Saudi Arabia for PlayStation. We've got a stacked grid as per usual, and we got a lot of things to talk about since last round in China. A lot of penalties, a lot of drama following that race. Quite a dramatic one indeed. A few drivers disqualified, quite a lot of penalties, but alongside me, as always, helping me stay sane is the one, the only, the lovely Logan Skelton, helping me process everything that goes on tonight and every round. How are we, Logan?
No, it's the other way around. You're supposed to keep me sane.
Well,
So, yeah, that's that. Right, let's get to cutting the chase, no wasting time. We do have a couple penalties, and we have a penalty for Evie, who finished in third place. He got 6 seconds worth of penalties. If I can just rummage through my notes and get the reasons why. And that was for a disregard of track limits and forcing another driver off the track. And the other one was spinning another car against Fraser. Hugo also got a penalty, but that was outside the top 10. There were 3 disqualifications, but they were all outside the top 10. There were Shida, Thomas, and Dara Smith, who was involved in an incident of his own, which was involving Coolman and Fraser being half spun. So the winner was Gatkowski, gets 35 points. Then Casper in second. Moustache got third after Evie's penalties was applied. He was relegated down to 7th. And Fraser 4th, Xenon 5th, Phil 6th, Evie 7th, Coolman 8th, Nassim 9th, Indian 10, Enzo 11th, and I see outside the points, it's actually top 15. I keep forgetting this. Quasar 12th, Naseki 13th, Hugo 14th, and Marum 15th. And everyone who were disqualified and DNF finished out of the points. So everyone that finished scored points. We're just about to get ready in the lobby right now. But for the team championships, it's a great start for CPI with 58 points for first and fourth. IRT are in second with 47. NLR 40. LDL 24. WR 14, VMV 12, RCR 10, ORT 6 after only just one showed up, RVL 2, and ESRL just the 1 point in the bottom of the barrel. Here we are, a new track, the most turns of any track in the F1 calendar, the Jeddah Street Circuit. The fastest street circuit, well, that's debatable. It could be Las Vegas now. You make your own mind up. I probably think Jeddah's slightly faster because you've got these fast turns being thrown in your face. And that's pretty much the majority of the turns on this track, Byron.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Good rundown of that championship and a lot of things to look forward to. You'll notice there's only 19 drivers in this lobby. That's because WR have been hit with a race ban for infractions, not only during the race, but also late lineup and late lineup submissions and late timing on the race as well. So, plenty of talking points going into this round. No doubt, but here we go. It is time for round number 2. We're getting underway for qualifying. Let's cut over to it. Pretty much perfectly on time. We've literally done that beautiful. It's almost as if this is our job, Logan. It's almost like we're supposed to do this and supposed to do it pretty well indeed. But here we go. And qualifying getting underway now. And, well, who's going to be the first to bite the gun and head out onto the circuit? I'll give you guys that beautiful track map that we all know and love. And, well, there's lots of talking points going into this one. Some teams maybe a little more disappointed than others, but still a lot of things for teams to look forward to, I think, going into this one.
Yes, I should mention Evie is replacing Lars, who was supposed to be racing tonight, and I believe there is a 25-second penalty. I'm not sure what that's for because I'm quite new to this league, admittedly. So, yeah, Evie in the place, and I think there is a 25-second penalty for that. I just double check, Byron.
Well,
25-second penalty.
as everyone
Yeah,
says,
he has to serve he's got penalties from previous, so I think he has to serve it. So they want to get it out of the way now, I think. Who is making his way out of the pits as I speak. 27 turns of Jeddah coming up, as you can see. And the other drivers we have, should note, CPI, I can't seem to find. We've got Fraser and we've got Damiano, who hasn't changed his team tag. Very funny.
yes, making our life
Yes,
difficult as always. These
no,
drivers know how to do it.
yes. Hang on, is that CPI?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is
CPI.
CPI. Yeah, they're in the Mercedes. I get them mixed up sometimes because the different team names. But we do have Damiano, not Gatkowski tonight. Remember, it is primarily a team tournament, not a drivers' championship. Although that's a bit of a side contest for them. Whoever else we got from last week? Moustache, who got third place last week. Casper is here as well in the McLaren representing the IRTs. We've got Inwa, the VMVs, alongside Casanova. Nerishino 5, alongside Lab 22. Lost Super Spies back from last week, along with Marcus Short in place of Maron. Enzo's back from last week. He's alongside David, who I believe is new. Alagino and Guitons for the RVLs. The RVL's got quite a few drivers in their lineup. In fact, a lot of the teams do.
Yes.
A few of note. Thomas, Kiki, and Lewis, just to name a few. But as I count, there are 84 drivers in this lineup. Actually, no, 85, because I see someone is inserting, as I speak, on my spreadsheet, because it is a live spreadsheet, it can be edited on Google Sheets. David has been added, so I take it back. It's 85 drivers in this championship, representing 10 different teams. It's kind of like a football match.
It is very much so. And, well, the first hot laps getting on the way. We've already had a retirement in the form of Casper Flack for IRT. So, not quite sure what's happened there. Based on where they crashed, it seemed like there was some sort of incident that happened, but Moustache up to the line at 1:26.993. That's the first lap of the session underway. Someone's left. That was RVL Utens there, down in 15th place. So not going to be setting a lap time there because the game has immediately retired them. LDL Plex there going up to the top of the timing sheets with a lovely lap time as well. VMV Inwa there is also about to come across the line and set a hot lap here next across the line. Following them will be David to start a hot lap up to the line. Only goes second, a 1:26.651. So currently a bit of a gap between some of these drivers, but not too bad at all. I'm looking at who's going to be next. Coming across the line, it looks like it's going to be Enzo 33 Max coming up to the line now for Haas. Down in 8th, not got a lap time yet. Going to be the 5th driver to set a lap time here. Where can they go? Did have some good pace in round number 1. Some of these drivers have been competing overnight for mental health, and well, these drivers looking on fine form once again. A cool second prep lap for Fraser there. You see a 1:46. So some drivers wanting to take a little bit of extra time to prepare the tyres.
Yes, of course. You need a lot of time, even though this is the longest track in a calendar. You've got to take very extra care going around a 6-kilometer circuit because the more it wears out, the slower your car is going to be around those corners. I should mention Evie's gone up to 3rd, and now it's an LDL 1-2. Nico F1 goes to the top with a .233, 1:26.233, and his teammate RLX, or is it RLX? PLX, sorry. I've not got glasses yet. Who is in 2nd place, only 1/6 of a second behind, 1:63 behind. Phil's up there in 3rd with .323 behind. We should have 3 more drivers still on the track getting a lap. One of them, Alessino, coming out of the pits. Damiano still in the garage. Ollie Olaf is on a lap right now. This is for the NLR team. Going round the final few corners. Actually, no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong part of the map. The squiggly, wavy lines. Oh no, we're gonna have to reset this.
There was already
Penalty.
one. There was already one earlier on in the session, so you're a bit delayed to noticing that. But
Fair
Ollie Olaf coming up through the final sector now, trying to get the slipstream off all of these cars in front, and why not? No surprise, that couple extra miles an hour. It comes in handy. The Aston Martin probably being a bit of a distraction. Oh, nearly going round Ollie Olaf. And too wide anyway. There was going to lose so much time there into the pit lane. Not a surprise in the slightest, because there was no hope in hell of that lap time being anywhere representative to what they would have needed to get a good result there. But as things stand, LDL on top with Nico F1, Fraser in second, and then Plex there in third place. Phil rounding out in fourth, and then VMV Inwa there in fifth, and then Evie sixth for WR. But good runs so far for those opening few. Some more promising than others, but everyone getting a pretty good benchmarker on the board as things stand, and we're looking good as we head into those all-important second runs now.
Yes, of course. Should be getting away with them soon. A couple of drivers on the track there. We've got what looks like David coming in, or is that? No, he's already set a lap. So I'm not sure who it would be next. Can you hear me, by the way, Byron?
I absolutely can.
Excellent. So Alessino's going to start his lap. Damiano's coming out too. So here we go. Alessino coming around a final corner. Make sure not to hit the wall like his counterpart Max Verstappen did. Sorry, have to mention it. For heading down to turn number 1 and this chicane. It's a very tight one as well. It's both apexes. Just be careful where he finishes on the exit. Nicely done. Goes across the curbs as you should. The curbs are inside of the track. It's quite unusual. In some corridors, they are the inside of the track. It's quite an unusual track, this one. I think maybe to put the drivers off or something. It is quite a weird one. As you've seen, some of these corners, you just go right on the inside. Maybe they couldn't fit him because of all the space they had to build the track. But there we go, coming around the hairpin now. He is, and I don't believe they have the big stand anymore that they used to have in this game for the Jeddah track at the hairpin. So that's good because that's very inaccurate. But anyway, Alessino coming through these couple few fast kinks before braking into a much tighter corner and then flat out through the final frontiers. 24, 25, that'll be 26. They have massive braking into turn 27. Make sure he gets a great angle into the apex and on the exit. Coming out of the final corner, and this will be a clean lap from Alessino crossing the line, but it's only 11th fastest for Alessino in the RVL.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like a bad lap time, just maybe not quite delivering the pace that might have been expected or desired in that sort of scenario. Chat talking about Nico F1 and how he is a quote-unquote Jeddah merchant, and the pace that he showed across his first lap certainly represents a Jeddah merchant. People dismissing his teammate of Plex here, who's obviously in third as things stand, but he is on a good lap right now. It says 3 temps improved, and can he keep it going? Well, round the final bend, he now comes for LDL. Could this be back up to a LDL 1-2? Well, he's going to certainly try and make it. Now up to the line, doesn't improve, and unfortunately, that does dismay that potential chance of a good challenge there. But up to the line now will be VMW. No, I cannot speak for my life to save me.
Inwa.
And nearly spinning at the final corner, and not worth saying, intentionally invalidated as well. Not trying to show the true pace clearly, and trying to maybe just confuse the competition by not showing your actual pace. But now Moustache up to the line and to the top of the timesheets as well. A 1:26.101. Not a bad lap time for Moustache. Yeah, confusing scenes as Inwa decides, rather invalidating as opposed to just going into the pit lane, or maybe just deciding to not become out of sync and just take the in lap like other drivers would be. But a lot of things going on here. Nico is apparently improving big by 3 tenths in Sector 1. I'm not sure if that's to be believed. This game likes to be a bit of a whistleblower and not give you the right information, but certainly it's saying it's a third of a second up, so that's exactly
here.
Massive toe coming in as well here.
And it really is starting to help. Nico gave him got a toe from Nico last time. Now they're swatching around, and that is quite an exit from Nico. Can he cross the line and improve on the time? Yes, and he actually goes into the 125s.
Wow.
125.873, nearly a quarter of a second faster than Moustache. That's going to be a tough one to beat, and Plax coming into the pit now. He's done his bit, but now Moustache will have to find something in these final few laps to try and get that pole back. Meanwhile, Fraser is not improving. He gets a toe from his teammate Damiano coming through these fast chicanes into the final part of this track, into the 20-something turns we are. Through the fast flowing turns, and you see right on the edge, you can see barely scrape the wall into the hairpin. He gets a nice apex and a nice exit. Can he get into the top 3? It's looking good. It's second place for Fraser, and now Moustache is demoted down to third. Third place for the pole sitter from last week. He's trying to make it 2 in a row for himself and NLR, but Nico and LDL still seem to be on top, Byron.
Very much so. It's a good display so far from LDL working together, working very effectively with one another. I'm noticing David's on a lap at the minute. Didn't improve in sector number 1, but potentially improvements to be found later on in the lap for David. But yeah, very interesting scenes that we've seen so far in this qualifying session. A lot of drivers, you know, maybe putting in a surprising lap. I mean, Nico F1 though, what a lap time there to go to the top of the timing sheets. You know, such a dominant lap time there. Real display of true talent from the LDL driver, and certainly proving chat right in terms of saying it is a Jeddah master. And, well, certainly proving a wonderful display so far. David up to the, would say up to the line, but into the pit lane. So clearly not much going on for many of these drivers as things stand, but it won't be all too long until you get those final runs out of the way, because the laps come thick and fast at you here.
Yes, they do, and that's quite ironic. The longest street circuit in Formula 1, I think it is. It's either that or Las Vegas. This is 6.2 kilometers. It's a long one, but it goes at you fast. 126s, and at Belgium you get 142s. Last time I checked, but that's about a kilometer longer. I don't know what is happening with my PS5. It's just not letting me go up to the next driver. Okay, there we go. I've fixed it now. Should mention, do we have any sponsors on the Competitive Speed Series?
Yes, Sim Racing Centre, and we recently announced a deal with Celius Clothing.
Oh, fashion, get you.
Well, I mean, not get me, because I did not have anything to do with this deal, but Celius Clothing recently was announced on our social media for Competitive Speed Series, so make sure to go check them out, as well as Sim Racing Centre. We're affiliates with them, so make sure to go check them out as well. No fancy sponsor boards around the track. That's only reserved for PSGL. Apologies. Apologies for that one, but final lap's getting underway very, very shortly. I'm going to have a very angry message about that comment later. Put money on that. But
yes, we do not condone gambling here.
We do not.
Competitive Speed Series. A lot of people here are not allowed to gamble. You have to be 18. On some places,
including myself, I cannot gamble.
Oh, what?
I'm not even 18. I'm still 17. I turn 18.
Oh dear, I'm in trouble then.
Why?
I'm 25.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why it shocks me how the age difference between us. But hey,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Then
It's good
again,
vibes. It's good vibes.
I still feel young. And then again, Barney Walsh, Bradley's son, is hosting Gladiators with him, so can't feel too bad about being 25. But here we go. Anyway, we've got some laps. We've got some laps. Alexinho already starting his lap now. PLX is going to get the boost from Nico F1, who's about to start his lap soon. He's going to get another boost from his sidekick coming through the final sector of this lap. It seems like it goes on forever, this, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Now here he
absolutely.
goes. PLX in the final corner. And what is it going to be? Is he going to get himself into the top two and make it possibly a front row lockout for LDL? Here comes to the line. No, it won't be. It's a
Wow.
.081. And he'll now have to give Nico a push. No! Nico's coming to the pits.
Nico's coming to the pits. That's
Interesting.
clearly thinking no one's going to beat his time. Could that be a cocky and costly mistake? It's a gamble, and we don't condone gambling, but that is as close to a gamble as you're going to get in competitive speed series, because that is a very interesting choice to retire. There's no guarantee that lap time holds. Very likely because of how much ahead of the field it is, but it's never a guarantee here, and it's very much up in the air because anything could happen. Dominio there going up to 5th place, but quite a few drivers on lap times now, quite a few drivers getting towards the end of their laps. Enzo 33 Max is only just going to make it to the line in time. That is it. Qualifying is over now. The checkered flag is out. Who's coming across the line? It looks like it's going to be the Alfa Romeo there, the of Casanova there, only going up to 13th. Next across the line is going to be Lost Super Spy now, currently down in 14th. Needs an improvement here to try and get up the order. The entire top 3 have retired out of this session. Lost Super Spy into the top 10 as things stand, but plenty more drivers to come across the line now. The other Alfa Romeo there of Inwa up to the line, improving by quite a margin, up to 5th. Good lap time there.
Here comes Phil around the final corner, and he's been overtaken by Lab briefly. Won't get any higher. Coming to the line, and it will be the second best time. He's only 45 thousandths down from Nico. Nico still can't be toppled. Damiano is... I think Damiano... Yeah, Damiano got a problem. He is backed off, so he's not going to be getting pole. Evie, who has a 25-second penalty, he's not getting pole. Marcus is backed out. I think this is over. I think this is over. Yeah. I do not see anyone on the lap.
No, there's no one. Enzo, currently down in 15th. He's not going faster than... Well, he's definitely not going faster than Nico, but could improve up to 11th. Not a bad lap time from Enzo 33 Max, but that is qualifying then. It is LDL Nico on top. Maybe a cocky display to retire early, but that lap time, well, it certainly stood the test of time, and no surprise, what a lap time it was. A 1:25.873. Very good lap time there, but there's still a race to go, and anything is possible. We might be saying that Nico's a Jeddah merchant, but doesn't mean it's going to stay that way as we go into this race. I mean, where do you start on that qualifying? You had 3 retirements in the form of Ollie Olaf, Casper Flack, and Geitens there. Disappointing to see those 3 retire, not through fault of their own, so very interesting. I do wonder what we'll see as we go through into this race. I mean, who are you keeping an eye on, do you think?
I'll be keeping an eye on... I'll probably keeping an eye on Moustache. He got closer to the pole this time. He got pole last time, and I do believe he has some good racecraft in him. Of course, we didn't see much of that last week, but of course, a lot of things happened that may have prevented that. There was incidents. There was everything that was happening. I completely been erased from my head because it's been quite the hectic week leading up to this. But there it is. Nico going on pole. Phil in second. and Fraser in third for CPI, the championship leaders. Unfortunately, his teammate is down in 7th. Damiano. We've got got Inwa, Damiano Plux, Evie, Marcus, Enzo, Super Spy, David, Alessino, Nercino, Casanova, Ollie Olaf, Casper Flack, and Yitons, the bottom 3, not setting a lap. Now, we are going to have to do a restart due to technical difficulties. Please stand by with us. We'll be back in a few minutes.
I mean, absolutely. We'll take a brief couple-minute intermission, and then we will be right back with you. We'll unpack that qualifying, take you through what's going to be the rest of this calendar, but do not go anywhere. The drivers have just got to have a little demolition derby, bit of fun, and then we'll be right back and unpacking that qualifying session. Okay, someone's just said they want to see the demolition derby, so I'm gonna allow this to happen for the sake of everyone wants to see it. So we'll pretend this is the actual race.
If they don't do it though.
This is true. What if they don't have a demolition derby? This is where we cry in a corner, and we don't get what we want. I'm just waiting for like a ping to go in the Discord of please, blow each other up. Demolition derby, literally demolition derby time got thrown in the Discord the moment I mentioned it. Last person alive wins. So these drivers are going to have a demolition derby. It's 3, 4, 5 red lights. Time to assassinate each other. Go, go, go. Drive-through penalties galore. Chaos galore. Give me a good camera angle. They're all spinning. They're all crashing. They're all retiring. It's brilliant. Someone's reversed off the start line. Oh, what a calamity we've had here.
This is a brilliant show. This is brilliant.
This is what everyone wants.
Like this in my life.
This is what everyone's here for.
Pure entertainment.
Lavin, yep. Who's gone now? Lab straight into and being penetrated by a Red Bull.
He'll feel that one tomorrow.
Yeah, you certainly will. 200 G's of force there. Certainly, neck.
Oh my god, he's still going! He's still going! He's still going with what? With feels he's Lewis Hamilton, guys.
There we go. Everyone out. Done. Dusted. That's your demolition derby done.
And the winner is...
Who is
us? We win!
We win! What do we win? Who knows? But there we go, that is the Demolition Derby done! Your winner for the Demolition Derby is...
me.
Whoever it's about to come up with,
me.
When it decides it wants to. Your winner is Alexinho.
Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen winning the Demolition Derby. As mentioned earlier, before everyone wanted to see that Demolition Derby, that is our Demolition Derby segment. Now we head to a short intermission. We'll be back in a couple minutes. We'll unpack that qualifying and get into the race. But do not go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple of moments' time.
Oh my God, there's a
So
cooling break.
we are back, taking that short intermission, just an opportunity for the lobby to sort itself out a little bit, but we won't be all too long until we are underway for the action here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. 27 miles of blistering track fun and action, family fun for everyone. Except if you're part of any community that isn't just Saudi Arabia, because they don't like you. But that's besides the point, because let's discuss that qualifying session, Logan. A bit of an interesting one for quite a lot of these drivers. Maybe had a little more of a disappointing qualifying session versus others. But the real standout of that qualifying session was Nico for LDL there. What a lap time he set, retired earlier on in the session. Very interesting that he did that, but was very much justified because he showed the pace he had. I mean, where do we even start with that qualifying session?
Yeah, he was on fire in that session, and he didn't even need to set one more. It's some people will say cocky and arrogant, but some people will also say probably a wise decision considering it was not looking good for all the others, and he could take a break and make sure that he was coming out fresh for the race, not tiring himself out, trying to push for that anything faster. But yes, even if he got beaten, Paul, I think he'd still take it because he's can work his way up the field. I've been told by sources. It's pretty good with these kinds of races, and quite the team player as well, as we've seen helping his teammates. So, lots to look forward to in this race, though.
Absolutely, so much to kind of think about, look forward to, because these drivers, they've got a lot of good, a real good eye for these sort of tracks. It takes a lot of precision, and it's not easy. It is quite difficult, but we're getting there. So much kind of to think about and go. And these drivers are trying to sort out. There's one driver in particular who's still apparently loading into the lobby and can't seem to be sorted, but I think it's all sorted now from what I can see. But,
no, there's one driver that's left.
Yes, I believe that's Ollie, because he unfortunately has, wasn't loading into the lobby properly. So, we'll be getting underway for this race. Not too far away now, but so much to kind of think about going into this one, because you've got drivers that were retired unfairly, like Oliola, fun enough, who we were just talking about, Casper Flack obviously being another one of them, and they're not destined to be towards the back of the grid, but they didn't get the red or the green in that session, and it does mean that that's exactly where they are, and they've got a lot of things to kind of think about going into this race. I mean, what would your kind of ambitions be if you were kind of this far back, kind of towards the back of the grid, but you should be more towards the front?
It should be north towards front. Well, to be fair, there aren't a lot of passing opportunities besides the first and last corners. So you'd be hoping that you can find every opportunity you can and take it as you can. There are going to be a lot of DRS changes predicted in most of these close races, but let's see where the cards fall and see where you go from there. It is, of course, a very fast street circuit and a very testing one at that too. One slight mistake, one slight error hitting the wall could bring your race to an early end. So you have to be very careful when you go around these fast corners too.
Absolutely. I mean, these drivers that kind of are on the back foot in terms of they're not where they maybe should be, they've got to balance that kind of risk-reward factor. They want to be towards the front, yes, but if they push too hard, they go too aggressive, all of a sudden everything's unraveled for them, and now they're actually, worse off as a result, because they've actually, lost places or crashed or lost a wing because they're just trying to compensate for a abnormal result. Everyone has a result that's, maybe not optimal, but, when those sort of things happen, it's about kind of how you respond in that sort of scenario. And I think all of these drivers, have got ambitions to look forward to. I mean, Nico, he's thinking about the win. He's thinking about what he can do to get that high, build on the momentum he's already got. But other drivers, they're looking to try and gain positions, in this race. So I think there's a mixed bag of emotions for all of these drivers, but they've all got one thing in mind. They want to win.
Indeed, yes. Just to let you know, we can't see the grid. Casper needs to apparently go away for a second. And he wants someone else to check the settings. Bit irresponsible, in all honesty. Like, seriously.
Yes, with responsibility falling onto some interesting things, but not too bad as things stand. But we are going to be getting underway shortly. Just waiting for, I believe, Olaf still not quite managed to get into the lobby either, as far as I'm aware. I believe we're still on 18 out of the 19 drivers we are expecting. But we're waiting for Olaf to get in and for those lobby settings to be checked over, but we're going to be getting underway within the next 2 minutes or so. As I've had if you're not in by 22, we're going without you, because this race needs to get underway. These drivers desperate to try and keep the pace they've shown in qualifying, whether it be good or bad. They're desperate to try and build on it and keep going into this race, keep that momentum flowing. But we're kind of waiting for this to get going, but very nearly there. And we're looking very good we're on for a very good race. Absolutely, because it's not very often you get these caliber of drivers and get that kind of abnormal lap time that does really make you think. When you see that sort of lap time from that lap time from Nico, you look at it and you go, wow, that's a lap time. It's not often you see that sort of blistering lap time, but lovely to see. But very nearly there, and just waiting for not much longer though.
Is that? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just waiting for everything to get ready. Sorry for being quite silent. Sorry for being quite uninformative. I mean,
there's not much more to talk about. Yeah, well, there's not much more to talk about. Exactly. These drivers really taking their sweet old time about getting into this lobby. And Olaf, he's just not been able to get into this lobby, unfortunately. And it looks like we're gonna have to go without him, because unfortunately he's just not been able to get into.
It's not.
It's gutting for for Ollie, because all these drivers want to do, they just want to race. And unfortunately he's just not been able to get into this lobby. And it does mean we're probably going to have to go without him unless he gets in within the next few seconds, because the drivers are beginning to ready up now. And there's nothing more we can do in terms of getting these drivers, sorted and all ready to go, and so close to this race. There's 5 red lights going up. In fact, the ready up signal has been given now, so unfortunately poor Ollie Olaf is going to be left for dust here, and not just on the racetrack. He's not even going to get into the lobby, and gutting for him. But unfortunately that is how it's going to go, because these drivers want to get underway, the admins want to get it underway too, but unfortunately that does mean leaving one behind.
Oh, and I've got a goal in the African Cup of Nations. Nigeria have scored. For those of you not watching, Nigeria have scored against the Ivory Coast. You can watch that on BBC, which I can mention because it's a public service, technically. So, not promoting anything, because they are a public service. Anyway, we are about to get underway. We do apologise for the delay, but of course, what happens, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. But as you mentioned, just a few moments now, and we're getting this race underway, and what a race it's set to be. I mean, so many drivers got lofty ambitions for this one, and it's not a surprise as to why. You know, you look at Nico, ego retiring, bit cocky, yes, but absolutely had the pace, really showed it here, and very much justified showing his pace there in qualifying. But I have been put onto a loading screen. I'm on another loading screen, and that means it's very much nearly go time here in Jeddah for round number 2 of the Competitive Speed Series PlayStation tier. Let's head over to trackside now, and here we are, the 27 twists and turns of this beautiful new circuit here. Only started racing here in 2021, and well, it's pretty much as new as you get in terms of a circuit, unless you head to the Las Vegas street circuit. But so many drivers got a lot to think about for this one. That was quite quick. I'm not sure if that's fully sorted already, but here we go. I'm getting 5 red lights, whether that's right or not. Well, here we go. It's Phil on the front row alongside Nico, and already made the pass into turn number 1, but not quite able to hold it there. But Nico off the track. That's going to give Phil the race lead here on the exit. And LDL falling from first down to 4th here. As Nico goes off the track once again. Surely he's going to have to lose another place there or a bit more time.
Yeah.
But look at Inwa back already right on the back of Nico here. Falling a few places there. A very messy start for the pole sitter. Already down to 4th.
Already down to 4th. It's a horrible start for the two Ferraris. PLX is gaining 1 position here. And this is against Damiano. This is for 7th place. And he is through. But it is Phil in the lead, ahead of Moustache, ahead of Fraser, ahead of Nico, already down 3 places. The biggest loser, actually no, it's Alessino. But up at the field, he is definitely the biggest loser. And as you can see, David has had a loss of grip there. As there's a battle for the lead, it's the top 3 heading into the corner. And Phil somehow gets through and stays in the lead. Fraser and Moustache was challenging like dogs in the night, but he can't get it, and now he's challenging again. Fraser on the outside of Phil, and he's going to get it. Moustache right in behind, and it is going to be Fraser that takes the lead in the first lap ahead of Phil, Moustache, and Nico back and forth. Meanwhile, further back, we've got some movement. That is Casanova and Super Spy going side by side across the line, and there's Casper Flack, Phil's teammate, in the backdrop. Coming down the straight, and now Casper Flack's going to try and get a move over. Does a magnificent move from Casper Flack, takes him up to 11th place. He's already up 6 positions. He started 17th, and now he's in 11th. This is brilliant from the IoT driver.
Yeah, absolutely. A brilliant start from him. So many things to talk about here, though. A lot of different variation on those tyre compounds as well. Quite a few drivers on soft, a lot on hards, a couple on those mediums. So many drivers, they don't know what to do with themselves here in terms of tyre compounds because they're just all over the place. No one really got a keen eye on what tyre compound is actually good and which one's not really good in terms of benefiting their ultimate race here. But a lot of things to kind of talk about and think about here. And we're getting movement.
Sorry, Byron, I have to cut you off. Enzo has had a spin. He was involved in the battle with Super Spy, and he has lost a position after colliding with Super Spy in that chicane. And now David is going to get the move over Super Spy, avenging his fallen teammate who's went to the back of the grid now. But there's a massive legion of cars behind him. Now Arsenio and Guitont, Alessino back there too. It's all going to kick off. Coming down, yes, this is for the final few points positions, and that's Super Spy's running at the inside. David trying to cover on the outside. He has no momentum going for him. He's going to try it again, but he's going to have Narciso and Guitont for company as well. Across the line to start the 3rd lap, and DRS will be enabled for this lap. And now coming through into the corner, and they're going side by side. And coming out of there, it is David getting in front, and it will be him in 13th place now.
Absolutely, a good progress here for some drivers. I'm looking at Casper Fuck into that top 10. Not a bad display from him in the slightest here. Actually, make that 9th position down the inside into the hairpin. Can he hold it? He's on the softs. He's got the extra grip, but the hards, they're just trying to keep fighting back. Evie got the inside line into this next corner. Can Casper Flack take it though? Yes, he can. It's a cheeky, maybe track limits extension. Could that be a possible overtaking off the track? Could that be a penalty? Doesn't look that way, but Casper Flack, a cheeky overtake with that slide in real life F1? Probably not. You'd have so many calls over the team radio and might go to the stewards. But as things stand, Casper Flack up into 9th place and a very ballsy overtake there to try and take that position. But so much battling, so much action. There's a massive train covering most of the field. But Nico, he's not been able to make progress from that 4th place.
No, he hasn't. He's still stuck in 4th place where he was the first few corners of the lap. And it's not looking good whatsoever as Fraser is back down in 3rd. Moustache stuck in 2nd. As meanwhile, further back, there's battles going on again. It's David and Super Spy through for 14th place. And it looks like Super Spy is going to get the 14th place for now. There, Shino's jumped up to 13th after that battles have kicked off. And Enzo's still back 7 seconds from the rest of the field. It's just not working out for the ORTs right now. But in the middle of the field, we've got Marcus, who's trying to gain on Damiano. This for 8th place. And we've got the top 4 in amongst themselves as well. And it might be kicking off here, Byron.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not looking too bad. I'm noticing, obviously, that top few, it's kind of sorted themselves out by tyre compound, which is what you expect. But think about Moustache here. He's on the medium tyres, and it's not going to be too long until those softs go off. Could he think about the overtake here? It's a bit early in the race for those soft tyres to be going off, but he's got the extra pace through that DRS. He's got the extra, performance that you get through that DRS, that rear wing being open. I'm looking also further behind of RCR Lab there, who's down in 7th place, but wants to make it 6th, ahead of Flex here for LDL, down as we go into turn number 1. Sweet as you like it for Lab there, representing RCR in the Alpine car. Hard versus hard tyres, nothing that Plex could do. Further back though, Gaitans there ahead of Lost Super Spy. That battle continuing furthermore, but Moustache has got into that race lead, and well, further back, Lab has got ahead of Plex. So movements happening up and down the order we were concerned about. Would we see many overtakes? Well, they're certainly giving us quite a few overtakes as things stand.
Yes, indeed. Now it is going to be a battle between these for a while, I'm guessing. Further back, Guitant is closing up on Nersinho for 13th. But now the top 5 are coming swiftly through to these wavy corners, as I like to call them, going into the 20-somethings of turns. Through we come to this left-hander where they're going to momentarily brake, and now Moustache coming around. It's the Fraser that has the dig here for this lead here. He's going to get the dibs. Coming to the hairpin, is he going to make the move? I'd be surprised if he doesn't. No, he's going to keep it steady through the hairpin, and now he's going to get more DRS coming out of this final corner once he crosses the line. Coming across, Phil is behind there as well as Nico, who needs to make some progress from that horrible start he had. And now coming in the inside, Fraser in the lead now once again, and Phil and Nico are still in 3rd and 4th, got Inwa back there in 5th. Coming through, should notice not much movement on that lap there.
No, absolutely not. Fraser doing a brilliant job to retake the race lead. Not a difficult overtake, but a strategic one nonetheless. But quite a few of these drivers really having to think about the long game in this race. And I think that's exactly why they're not battling too hard. They're trying to keep as respectful as they can, because, they're only going to hurt themselves if they go too aggressive, if they play it too hard, because all of a sudden, if they go too aggressive, they try just too much, it's all come unraveling for them and it's all over. They've ruined their race. So they're playing it very smart, very strategically. But that's exactly what they've got to do. There's yellow flag behind. That's David there, who's gone for a spin on the exit of that hairpin, that sweeping left-hander. Very difficult to get right lap after lap. And he has unfortunately fallen short of the mark on that occasion, but further ahead, Nico, he's finally making a move back up onto the podium. He's got ahead of Phil, and now he can think about that top 2 battle as he's got back ahead of the IRT car in that McLaren, and now he can set his sights after that top 2. But can Moustache set his sights, getting back ahead of Fraser down into turn number 1, lifting off, not doing anything on this particular occasion, but that battle is sure to continue in all of the laps to come. But the more important story is our pole sitter Nico has finally got a bit of a wriggle on.
Yes, he does. And coming down now, we have the leaders coming through the first few corners of the second sector now. We've got Super Spy right on the back of Casanova. Once again, doesn't seem to be much movement. Well, he has some movement coming up to the hairpin now. This long hairpin, it feels like it goes on for an hour and a day. Through we come now to the curves once again. CPI, Fraser and Moustache coming through. Nico as well. Top 3 right now. Nico finally making that move into third place. Already redeemed himself on 1 spot. Him and Phil are now down 2 places from the start. Meanwhile, Fraser and Moustache are up 2 places. They started in 1st and 4th respectively. And now it's going to be up 3 positions for Moustache perhaps if he can get a move back on Fraser. We've seen quite a bit of this tonight. As looks like Inwa wants a piece of Phil. Coming into the hairpin once again. Let's see what happens here. All the top 5 very close together. We'll see what happens coming out of the hairpin now. Lap 8 starts when he crossed the line. And here comes Moustache opting for another move into the lead. Goes on the outside and no hassle whatsoever. He's in to the position of whoa. That was Lab trying for a move on Inwa. It didn't go off, and he backed out enough to stay away from danger. And there's a crash. Casanova and Guitont having Ersinio having a collision. That was for 12th place, and Casanova has fallen to 15th as a result.
Wow, disappointing for Casanova, but unfortunately, the battle will continue, the action will continue. Marcus, they're getting ahead of Evie, who's gone for an incident as well, spinning, reversing, causing all manner of chaos, and maybe even coming back onto the track dangerously. WR just can't seem to keep themselves out of incidents this season, and certainly not going to be what they're going to be wanting out of this championship here. I mean, they've already got a race ban. It can't surely get much worse for them now, but Moustache into the race lead on those softs, and surely on the mediums, sorry, but surely those soft tyres are starting to go off now for the likes of Fraser, Casper Fluck, Casanova and David. Bearing in mind, we've seen Casanova and David both have incidents in the last couple of laps.
Yes, we have quite a few incidents, and that's a battle for 5th place. 4th place, 5th going together, and now the top 3 are going to be very close to each other. They're going to slide into this battle, and Nico is on there, and he's going to go try and take the lead back, but he's not close enough. He gets into 2nd place, and now Fraser in the lead ahead of Nico and Moustache and Phil and Inwa, your top 5, fighting for 11th place. That's Guitont ahead of Nersinio for 11th place. And Damiano right behind Lab, who is right behind Inwa. They're all starting to get really close now.
Absolutely, they're getting closer and closer to each other. This grid really compacting the top 9, all within DRS range of each other. The field has condensed so much, but these soft tyres, they're going to start going off. But Casper Flag wants to make a move himself. He's got ahead of Dominio there, up into 7th place. So maybe the softs aren't going off quite as much as I thought, but surely at some point soon, these tyres, they're going to cook, they're going to fall off. Because they can't keep lasting forever here. They're not going to go that far. David, the first driver, to get a penalty in this race. But So much to think about, but Nico is right onto the back here of Fraser, thinking about the race lead, going around the outside. No surprise here, those softs are going to be giving up so soon, but that race lead, it was not in question for Nico there. Blistering pace, as sweet as you like it, not in doubt in the slightest. And there we go, Fraser into the pits off those softs, and that's not a surprise to anyone.
Not a surprise to anyone. It's Phil and Moustache battle for second place, and it's Moustache that stays in second place. Phil in third. Casper Flack is up 12 positions.
Wow.
Quite crazy that is. Super Spy is in 12th and gaining positions thanks to the drivers pitting. And now Phil is still right on the back of Moustache. Moustache now half a second down as Super Spy gets a penalty. And that's PlayLX that's past Damiano. And what's happened to Damiano? Something happened to Damiano. He's lost ground.
He's lost a lot of ground to this battle. It doesn't seem like he's got damage, but certainly cause for concern for Damiano here. You know, losing pace, losing time, not seemingly as of his own fault. So possibly just a little bit of an incident, maybe just had to run a bit wide, something happened, the rear end got a bit loosey-goosey perhaps, but he's still within that DRS range that he's going to want, you know, and still able to keep within this train for the lead. But Nico, a massive incident here, Inwa there, out of the race. I'm not even sure what quite happened there, but Nico has no front wing. The Jeddah Merchant has fallen short here. The fortune teller was not right, the cookie predicted the wrong thing because Nico has got missing a front wing. In was out. We're under safety car conditions. I'm not fully sure what happened. I caught it right as there was a car into the wall, and Nico was involved in that incident. And everyone coming into the pit lane, and Nico's teammate's going to get the worst of this because he's got a double stack.
Oh no, and so has Casper. He's going to be pegged back too because he has no choice but a double stack. You believe it? Coming through, I do believe unsafe pit release is off. He's fallen down to 6th, Byron. He's fallen down to 6th. Actually, it might be more because that's Fraser, who's already pit and is going to go right up to 4th, right down to 4th, actually.
AlphaTauri are holding up more cars into the pit lane as well. I've noticed there. I'm not even sure what's fully happening in this pit lane. So much chaos, so much confusion though. But Nico went from what was first down to 7th. His teammate went from like 4th down to 11th. It's a disaster for LDL here in Jeddah. So much drama, so much action. Everyone comes into pit lane, everyone changes tyre, but we still don't know what happened to Inwa and Nico there. But a major incident that's definitely going to the stewards after this one.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just checking what in the world happened to that because I actually missed that going in. Where's the Twitch?
Having a little look at the chat, and Nico half spun and Inwa hit him, and that was just crazy stuff. I mean, a massive incident there between Inwa and Nico here.
Oh my goodness!
And you don't know what you've just witnessed. I've got no clue what has happened here.
That is so unlucky for Inwa. Of course, it was a complete accident. It was no fault of Nico's. He just made a mistake of his own, and he's not to blame. It was just a horrendous conflict of disinterest, I'd have to say. Oh, it was just really unfortunate. So there was nothing done wrong there. It was just an unfortunate freak accident. And I do believe a bit of a glitch from the game because it should be ghosting the drivers that are in trouble, but it didn't. So as a result, this race has turned on its head.
Absolutely, but if you're wondering what we're looking at now at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, well, it is NLR Moustache leading the way here for his team, and quite the hefty incident obviously having happened, and all of a sudden the race flipped on its head. The possibilities now absolutely endless, because I think anyone could win this. It would be an absolute miracle, though, if Nico is able to win this race from here. But anything is possible because this incident bunches up the field, and now everyone's in the hunt, except Inwa, who's obviously retired.
Yeah, so Inwa, our first casualty of the race, very unfortunate. So now it's NLR Lone Wolf because of technical difficulties for Ollie Olive, who is in the lead ahead of Phil. Then it's Lab, Fraser, and Damiano. Of course, IRT for Phil, RCR, Lab, and of course CPI, Fraser, and Damiano 4th and 5th. Casper is in 6th, and I'd say that's a pretty okay scenario. Considering he had to double stack, he was on the soft, he was well back, he's in 6th. That's a decent position to be in.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, obviously the biggest losers there being LDL with that double stack for the, they should have swapped places on the track, really, to try and, not disadvantage Plex as much. They could have done it into the pit lane knowing that, the game would have allowed that. And, they should have done that because if they'd been able to do that, within the confines of this game, all of a sudden, they're not double stacking, they're not losing time to, what really they shouldn't have. But safety car in this lap, Moustache is going to lead us away here from Phil, Lab, Fraser, Dominio, CPI on for another great result here. Casper Flack, though, in 6th, not losing too much places. Nico in 7th, obviously, was at the top of the timing sheets when that incident happened, but losing place as a result. Guidance, Marcus, Nesserino there, and Plex there. One of our biggest losers in 11th. But here we go. It's go time for Moustache here. I actually timed that to perfection. And someone who hasn't timed it to perfection is Phil, who's a little on the back foot here. Maybe under pressure from the Alpine of Lab. Down into turn 1 we go. But a dive from Fraser there. Around the outside now he goes of Lab on the exit. Is it a massive move for CPI? It absolutely is. What an overtake from Fraser. A massive dive, but one that paid off. And there we go. Casper bucks out. What has happened there? I've not quite caught that in the slightest. We were busy looking at the amazing overtake from Fraser and talking about that. But Casper Flack is out. He was on for a good result. He was making an amazing recovery. But it's come to nothing. And there's a three-wide moment. Wow!
What is that?
Geaton's off the road. There's another safety car. What has happened? And Geaton's without a front wing.
Yeah, Geaton's had a collision with what looks like Casanova.
Yeah, and David,
it just went completely out of hand.
It's a 3 wide
as
into
a
the
result,
heavens.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
So
another safety. We just got back on out of safety car conditions, and we're back. Welcome back to Safety Car Central here in Jeddah. I mean, that was a phenomenal. Well, half a lap back of action. So much happening across the grid. Casper Flack retiring, overtakes from Fraser. But now we're back under that neutralization, that yellow safety car back out, up on the top left of your screen. And that AMG safety car, or is it the Aston Martin? I have no clue at this circuit. But, you should have thought I would have known given we were there for 3 laps. But we're back under, and Nico's back into the pit lane. Why? What's he changing to now? Is he changing to a new set of tyres? He's also changing his wing. He's got more damage.
He does. That is more damage for... Nico, is it? Yeah. He must have got caught up in that battle. Now he is down to 14th.
Interesting.
14th.
Gutting for Nico.
For him.
Gutted. But interesting. Evie on softs.
Well, he has a 25-second penalty to serve. So he will only have... The only thing he can really do here is play spoiler.
Absolutely. Trying to do as much as he can to try and just see what's on the cards. But, a lot of things to think about here for this particular end to the race. I mean, it's crazy to think we've only just crossed really the halfway mark. We've had 2 safety cars, two retirements, so, quite a few incidents, but some ballsy overtakes at the same time. This race is shaping up to be an all-time great here in Jeddah. I mean, just what you couldn't ask for anything else. So many points lost for teams like IRT, you know, but anything is possible at this sort of track. And I mean, just what more can you want? What more can you want at a circuit like this? You get action, you get drama, you get everything you want. And they're certainly giving us so much to talk about here in the commentary box.
Exactly. So we are getting all the cars again. I don't think I have this lap next. Assume it's still on the safety lights. It's a massive car, that safety car, compared to all the other cars. This looks like a big boy. Like, remember the NASCAR in the Le Mans? The hypercars were puny compared to the Garage 56 car.
Yes, absolutely. But size not mattering all too much under these safety car conditions because, well, the drivers, they just got to follow the car around, trundle around, and see what comes of it when we go back to green flag running. I already know that's going to be clipped and sent to me privately, so knock yourself out, Harvey, because I foresaw that coming the moment I said that size doesn't matter on a Twitch stream. So who knows? But who cares? Action galore here, and literally in chat from Harvey, Byron, you know it. I'm just too good at knowing what's going to be clipped from me, but the action. It's so much action here, you just gotta wonder, when's the action gonna stop? When are these drivers gonna call it quits, sort themselves out, and just get on with the racing? But they're just having so much fun, scrapping, giving us all the action for days. The clips that can be put onto social media, it's, well, they're everywhere. To be quite honest, they are absolutely everywhere. And, wow, it's gonna be very fun to see how many of these clips end up online, because some of the driving, the overtakes, the bulls have just been, quite honestly, sensational.
Yes, they have. So we're just about to get underway. It seems all the drivers are stacked up, ready to race. Once again, 10 laps to go we will have once we cross the line. So here we come. Sure, the safety car lights will be going off any minute now. There we go. Time to nice perfection, baby.
We're getting it good today. Look at us. Timing literally on point. Can we get the safety car when a Moustache goes once again on point? I mean, that would be brilliant if we could. I mean, but here we go. It is time to get back underway in Jeddah. That safety car coming out immediately, pretty much as soon as it went in. Let's hope that doesn't happen again, but 10 laps to go when we cross the line here. Moustache about to lead the field off. He's gone, and time to perfection once again. But Phil, he's read it better this time. But someone who continues to read it well is Fraser, who's right onto the back into turn number one. It's not going to have to be as ballsy as it was last time. In fact, he can't quite pull the overtake on this occasion, but he's keeping very close to the back of Phil here, heading through Sector 1 into some of the more tight and twisty technical turns. Here, side by side, Dominio goes with Lab, but nothing coming of that. Lab managing to maintain and hold station here, but the entire field so close, bunched up together. And, well, so much to talk about as we head through these final laps here. But Moustache, that restart done to perfection as the battles continue, as Nico gets up to 12th here. Super Spy gets up to 10th, but the action, it's going to continue right up until the last lap.
So here we go then. The leader still Moustache. We got some battles left, right, and centre. That's Evie and Guitons going side by side through the back of the course and looking for a move. He's on the soft tyre, so he's at an advantage. But remember, he has a massive penalty to serve. And now Phil's in the lead. Phil's back in the lead from where he got it on lap 1, or the first part of lap 1, after a horrible start from Nico as well down the order. Now, Moustache coming out of the corner. He will not get any DRS because course, that's 3 laps after. Further back, though, that is a battle happening as well. That's Nico trying to get up on Super Spy into 11th position, and it looks like he has done so going into the corners. Yes, it is. Into 11th place he goes. Further up, it's Phil ahead of Moustache. Then it's Freezer and Lab. Further back, Nico now on the back of Max. Enzo Max in that pass of ORT representation. Going through, and he's got a lot of speed out of that corner, and he's got a lot of experience, and he's going to try and go for now. Oh, he's got to be careful side, but he's going to get no momentum out of there. Almost touching wheels.
He's gone
but he's
for it
gone for
though.
the switchback.
Wow!
What is that?
What a switchback from Nico there, heading into the side by side through here. Surely not.
Oh,
Nico cuts the corner. That's going to be a warning. Surely he has to give this place up as well. Yes, he does. And no surprise. But now he's still able to hold it down here. He lost the position technically, very temporarily. So actually, he's fulfilled the regulation in terms of giving the position back, but immediately took it back. So Nico has done exactly that to perfection. He cut the corner, gave the place back, but immediately took it back. A bit of chicken, but ultimately, he's the one who gets the last laugh here. But Enzo trying to put the pressure back on into the final corner, but can't manage to make the overtake back. And in fact, he's going to have to look behind now as Evie applies the pressure down the straight. Evie on those soft tyres, big squeeze to the left-hand side, up into 11th place now. But surely, he's going to get that overtake into turn number 1. As sweet as you like it, got more grip, got more pace, but actually Enzo continues to fight it on the exit, but now they continue side by side into the next corner. But Evie there getting that place done and dusted, and hopefully Enzo not being able to respond on those medium compound of tyres, but the action, the pace of those softs is gonna certainly, well, a penalty. So insults to injury for those who've now got more, but plenty to talk about still as the battle towards the podium continues, because Fraser is continuing to close on Moustache, who's falling away from the back of Phil.
He is indeed, and now he's coming to the third and final sector of this track. Moustache trying to redeem himself from not winning last time and trying to get LNR's first win off the league. Going through and down into the corner comes Fraser, and he's taking second place. Fraser now in second place. What's going to have Moustache for company here, and looks like he is going to go on the left and not the right, and intimidate Phil a bit, give him a bit of a fright, thinking he's going to come through. Lab up there waiting in the wings. So we got a 4-way battle, it looks like, for the front. Might be 5. Damiano's right there as well. Yes, so 5 in contention here so far. Narasino a bit far back for now. Further back, that's Super Spy battling with Guitons. Actually, he's in a RVL Red Bull sandwich between Guitons in front and Alessino at the back. This is for the final points positions, and Super Spy goes wide, and Alessino had a look at him, but he can't get past it for the meantime.
Absolutely, but the battle towards that top, as you're mentioning, very close and beginning to involve those behind of Nesserino and Plex here, but a penalty there going the way of Labs, so multiple warnings. I saw him go slightly wide out of the corner of my eye, and unfortunately 3 seconds, that puts him pretty much out of contention for the race win here. But now what can he do in terms of helping his teammate? Obviously, Nesserino, obviously currently in 6th place. Domino in a bit of an RCR sandwich, and he's going to want to try and either break free, get ahead, but Lab is going to want to try and benefit his teammate now that he knows he's down and out of this fight, this battle, because he has that penalty to contend with, and Lab loses a place to Nesserino, but then lets his teammate through. So Nesserino now up into 5th, but down the inside. Oh, it's too late on the brakes, too hot on the brakes, and contact between him and Dominio there, and now he's losing places to Plex. Lab, Dominio, he's now in a battle with Marcus as well, who might try and be optimistic, capitalise on that, but Nesserino losing place, losing time, And now Lab is out of DRS ring, just got back within. And this battle continues onwards as Phil is closing up on the back of Fraser for the race win here.
Yeah, so we continue on. It is IRT Phil right behind. We have a virtual safety car, and that Super Spy has gone round. Super Sky going round in the second sector, and David is also seems to be in trouble. David in trouble, so the virtual safety car has come out. And if this gets upgraded to a safety car, full safety car, this might get quite interesting. I doubt that will be the case as the leaders come through at reduced pace. Don't know when the safety car will end. It doesn't give you any warning. Does the safety car, virtual safety car, when it comes back in, or when it comes to an end?
I believe
You've
it's
got to
going
be
to
careful
be
though.
ending very soon.
Yeah, it's going to be ending very soon. They look like they're speeding back up, and is Fraser still in the lead ahead of Phil? Looks like the battle's going to be muted for now. Coming down the straight, no passing allowed under a virtual safety car. So Fraser will hold the lead for now. Then Phil, Moustache, Damiano. And there's Senior's coming to the pits, and he's nearly crashed into the wall. You've got to be quite careful coming in there. And the safety car's virtual safety car has come to an end. So we're back underway, and it's a good move from Phil. Phil is gaining time already, and right behind Fraser he is. Now, coming through these twisty turns in the first sector of the track. And he seems to have lost time, however. Casanova is getting into the top 10, but he's almost went off the track there. And look at this! Enzo's going to try and get back through! This is a hunted into the wall. And he loses position. Has he got damaged? No, he's got away with it this time, but he's lost positions as a result. Nico now challenging for 7th place. What a recovery drive he's put in so far, and it won't be over yet. Nico going for Marcus Short's 7th place on 3-lap younger tyres. Looking good, and looks like he wants to get past as soon as humanly possible. Damiano is battling for a podium position. He's got a great run on Moustache. If he gets past this, he can have a chance at Phil's 2nd place. But I don't think he's going to have it because, of course, Moustache also has the DRS in tow. And now the leaders come through once again. Nico is up to 7th place. He's going on the outside of Short Marcus, who's going to peg back. But no, he's not going to be done by Nico. He's going to get that position for now. And now the leaders come in to the corner once again. Damiano getting into Moustache there, but he's not going to get them done. Meanwhile, further up, it's Guiton into the top 10, passing Enzo Max for 10th place. It's all starting to gear up to a grandstand finish.
Yeah, absolutely. A grandstand finish is very much expected here. Damiano keeping close to the drivers in front for CPI. It's looking like it's going to be another strong result for the team. That's exactly what they're wanting. It's exactly what they want to see. They want the pace. They want the performance. Well, they've certainly got it as things stand, and it's going their way. But can anyone contend? Can anyone duel this out and contend for taking that top honour? Well, they certainly got to fight for it here, because currently it is CPI really looking in contention, in domination, in fine form. As always here, but Damiano, another chance to try and take 4th place here. Can he manage it? Well, he's certainly trying here. He's closing. Plex there, getting ahead of Lab here in 4th, 5th place. Lab losing another place there to Nico, by the way, who's gained a lot of places in this race. Now he's going to probably get past his teammate. Surely he gets let through here, but the battle is for the podium. It's Dominio down the inside of Moustache. Can he possibly make it 2 overtakes? 2? Does he want to try and get past Phil? Can he manage to get that many overtakes done? Well, he's certainly going to try here. But so many plot lines, so much to talk about, so many storylines, so many drivers in contention here. Another yellow flag there in sector 3. That's not Super Spy going round once again. So many drivers having incident upon incident, but Dominio really trying to think about this second place. Can he make it a 1-2 for his team? He's going to be trying. He's going to be hunting and wanting it to be a good result for his team. But can Phil dismay any chance of an attack from the CPI team?
Well, we'll have to see about that because the leaders are coming through once again. It's getting exciting here, isn't it? Between the four leading drivers, there are going to be 2 laps to go when they cross the line once again. Phil is starting to gear up for another pass on Fraser. Is he going to try it now? I think no, he's not. He's going to go back, but he's got Damiano for company. Fraser's teammate is in the mix as well. The championship leaders, CPI, trying to get a 1-2 here. 2 laps to go. Phil is going to have to go for it here because Damiano's going to be hot on his tail. Coming into the corner, here we go once again. And no, the positions have not changed for now. And that's a loss of ground for Damiano, or is it? Doing a switchback, he's going to move. No, he can't do it. Phil holds on somewhere, somehow, against the odds. Keeps it together. And now Damiano's picked back and is on the pro from Moustache. Moustache is starting again. Probably the fresher tires here. Oh, and that's a mistake from Phil is losing ground to Damiano, and this could be the 1-2 that he needed, and to the hairpin they go! But now they come out, and who's going to come out ahead? It is going to be Phil. How has he Byron?
I have absolutely no idea. I mean, Phil, he's just doing everything he needs to do to try and keep this result. He wants to try and stop this 1-2 from happening for CPI, but he needs to try and get back into the DRS of Fraser. If he's not able to, it's going to really hamper his chances of keeping this defense alive and trying to keep this P1 or even getting this P2 that he's trying to stop CPI from stealing out of his hands. But he's not got DRS on Fraser ahead. That's going to make it so difficult. But we're going on to the final lap now. The final chance for these drivers to gain, to lose, to make those late lap lunges. But as things stand, Fraser out in front 1.4 seconds. But Dominio not able to get ahead of Phil. A crucial move that they need to make if they want any chance of a 1-2 here.
It's 1.5 second the lead. It looks impenetrable now as Phil starts to really feel the pressure with Damiano hot behind. This could be the 1-2 that CPI needs. It's going to be a second win in a row for CPI, and this time being Fraser in place for Gutkowski, who's not racing tonight. And that's Nico going wide. He's in 5th, by the way. Great recovery try despite all that happened. And it looks like Fraser could be on the way to victory here. He's got everything. He's not got much energy. Then again, neither Phil. Damiano has a golden chance to get the 1-2 for CPI.
Yes, absolutely. Damiano, he's really on the back now. 2.5 temps separate, 2 temps closing up, trying to keep close, but he's probably not going to go for the overtake here. He's going to try and do it at the last opportunity when he knows he can get it down here as we go through the final bends here. 2 seconds the lead. Moustache trying to apply the pressure too, but it's Damiano who goes around the outside into the final corner here. No battery for Phil, sorry. Can he lose the position?
Oh!
There's contact in the final bend, but it's Fraser who comes across the line for CPI, takes the win. Damiano in second, Phil in third. Moustache, after making contact with Phil at the final corner on the final lap, getting 4th place here. Nico in 5th, Plex in 6th, Short Marcus in 7th, 8th for Lab, 9th for Evie, but a lot of penalties going the way of WR means they're going to fall down the order inevitably. Enzo in 10th, 11th there for Alexinho, which gets demoted there actually through penalties to Nesserino. So the Enio family, the camp is not looking too bad. 11th and 12th for them. David in 13th, Casanova 14th, but Gaetans there taking up the final point spot there in 50th place for RVL. But a 1-2 for CPI, a dominant display. Where do we even start unpacking that one? Because just crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Just crazy indeed. And that is a 1-2 for CPI. Moustache got in contact with Phil at the end, and Moustache got damage, and that has hampered his chances of getting the podium. He went for the move with Phil, but they came together, and there might be investigation over that. 5th and 6th of the LDL pair. But wow, what a result for CPI. Perfection from them. And Ivory Coast have placed in the African Cup final.
Absolutely. As I see that the clip of me saying that size doesn't matter has been clipped, and I encourage it to go up on the Twitter. But what a race that was! Your podium there, taking to the track, a well-deserved 1-2 for CPI. I mean, what a team! What a result for them. They really showed the true pace and potential here, taking a dominant display. I mean, they couldn't have asked for anything else coming out of this one. I mean, just the ideal scenario for a team known for such good results. They proved it tonight, and there we go. Your race classification. Take it away, Logan. Who's hot and who's not coming out of this one?
Fraser and Damiano get the 1-2. Phil finished for down 1. Moustache stays where he started, 4th. Down 4 was Nico, and his teammate PLX went up 2. Short Marcus went up 3 and finished 7th. Lab finishes in 8th, down from 5th. Evie stayed where he finished, but he's going to get a penalty, so I think it's going to be Max that's going to get his 9th place. Then we've got Neresino, Alessino, David Casanova, Guitons, and Lost Super Spy at the back. Casper Flack and Inwa didn't finish.
There we go. That is your very quick super duper rundown from Logan. But what a race that was. I mean, you can't even start to explain that one in the slightest. There's no way you can describe a race that just boiled down with a spectacular finish there. I mean, surely not. You know, we can't have that sort of, you know, action-packed drama and just so chaotic, like insanely chaotic there, and just everything you could have wanted, you got it. You know, and just such a race. Well, that concludes our action at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, but let's have a look at the rest of the calendar. Well, next up, it's your manager vote. It's the first time we've tried something like this in the competitive speed series, but what an interesting one this will be. Teams, the team managers have had a choice of circuit, only one vote for each manager, and well, they've got to use it wisely based on where they think their drivers are going to excel the most. That result will be announced shortly, I am absolutely sure of it. But when that does get announced, be sure to come over for this race, because that is going to be the first time we try a brand new format. The drivers, you know, they don't know the track yet, and no one knows that track yet. But that is next week. That race was absolutely chaotic. Logan, final thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was a very fun race, and it went down to the final corners as well for the position. So, yes, very, very exciting, and another great win. Yeah, they pulled out all the stops tonight, and now they're well ahead in the championship.
Absolutely, really putting a stamp on that championship and just doing exactly what they needed to do. I mean, you can't ask anything more of that team. They just did exactly as asked, exactly what they needed to do, you know, and just nothing more could have been wanted from that team. Just absolutely brilliant stuff from them. You know, the 1-2, it's the ideal result. It's the perfect end to a perfect race for them. Just everything you could have wanted, they got. But next time out, that manager vote, it's going to be spicy. It's going to cook up a lot of surprises too for all of these drivers. So don't miss that one when we head to it. But for the time being, we have been the competitive speed series. We've been here for round number 2, Saudi Arabia. What a race it was, but we hope you will join us next time. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media, join the Discord, all of that good stuff. Check out our amazing affiliate in Sim Racing Centre and partner in Celius Clothing. Use our code on both of those for a discount and to help support us. But until next time, when we head to a mystery circuit for a manager vote, we will see you next time. Goodbye.